Greetings, music lovers. I'm SoundBite, the internet's only DJ superhero. But this is not my full-time job. That's right, I have a life outside of fighting bad music. During the day, I run a DJ company. We do everything from 18ths to corporate events, but our main income is weddings. We have all been to one, and we all know the stereotypes that follow wedding DJs. Now, while I refuse to have that kind of thing at my company, there are some songs that I consider so bad they should be locked away in a vault. However, if you play them, you are almost guaranteed a full dance floor. With that in mind, I present to you the top 5 party songs you hate to love.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5.
Ironically, our number 5 spot goes to that jive pop song, Mambo number 5.
And it's a great tune, isn't it?
Yeah, well, great is a point of view. What the hell are you doing here?
Just figured I'd help you out. Got nothing better to do.
What could you possibly know about this song that I don't already?
Well, I probably don't know as much about this song as you do, but I have kind of my own history with it.
Believe it or not, there was a time when I didn't have as much affection for this song as I do now. I think that might have had something to do with the fact that I can remember when this wasn't just one of those novelty records people dust off for special occasions. It was a proper mainstream pop hit. Trust me, this thing was everywhere, and familiarity bred contempt. However, now I only have to hear it a maximum of about 5 times a year. I have no issue with it. There are a couple of reasons I think this has become the floor filler it is. Most obvious being that it's a relentlessly happy sounding song. It's the sort of thing that kids can skip around to and gives adults an excuse to use the half remembered ballroom dancing stuff they saw on the television. You'll notice that this is one of the few of these sorts of tunes that men have no problem getting up and dancing to, which probably has something to do with the fact that the song is all about a bloke who shags a lot of women. There's also the dedication factor. Listen to all the names this guy rattles off.
A little bit of Monica, Erica, Brita, Tina, Sandra, Mary, Jessica.
Chances are there's at least one woman in the crowd that shares a name mentioned, which goes some way to make others feel included on a special day.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, let me just ask you this. Who wrote Mambo number 5?
Lou Baker. Oh wait, this is a trick question. Do you want me to use the bloke's real name?
Wrong! It was Diasmo Perez Pardo. Louis Vega just sampled the music. It has been around since 1949. Now how about you go back to your channel and leave the music to the professionals.
Alright then.
And cut that out. My goodness. Who's ever heard of a whinging pom?
Why, this car is automatic.
It may surprise you, but I have never watched Grease. Oh sure, I know all about it, but I've never had the patience to sit through it.
Really? You've never seen it?
Is my front door open or something?
Well, I just heard you were talking about an awesome movie. Bada bing.
King, really? Really, you want this song?
Tell me about it, Stud.
One of the most interesting things about the Mega Mix is that it's backwards. The 3 songs You're the One That I Want, Grease Lightning, and Summer Nights go from the end of the movie to the first song of the movie. In December of 1990, to celebrate the video release, this song was created as a promotional stunt. Even though it's credited as John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, it was in fact a DJ named Joey... Michelle... Put it on the screen. Yeah, that guy. He mixed these songs together, and subsequently it has been the go-to party track for the last 20 years.
It's okay. I mean, most of the acting's good, the set pieces are really nice, I like most of the characters, some of the lines are really funny, but most importantly, the music just makes me wanna dance.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen.
I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna let myself
Wow, King. You have opened my eyes. I'm going to sit down and watch Grease right after this review.
Really, the Sparkle Bus worked?
No! This was one of the films I also hadn't seen. I was physically forced to sit down and watch this by a friend of mine. And you know what? 5 minutes in, I point out there's a boom mic in shot. He had seen this film over 100 times, and he looks and says to me, "Oh, so there is." But I don't get the film. I like sex as much as the next guy, and Tim Curry is one of my favorite actors. But why do people like doing the time warp? Sorry, I just thought some reviewer was going to pop up.
About the time warp without first going into a little history on the Rocky Horror Picture Show itself. The Rocky Horror Picture Show represents a classic midnight movie. Hey Jack, what's up?
You don't know for midnight movies, get the fuck out of here. As I was saying,
the Rocky Horror Picture Show is the quintessential midnight movie. But what is a midnight movie? Glad you decided to enter the conversation. Midnight movies began as a cinematic version of the late-night horror host shows that ran on local TV stations back in the day. These shows would broadcast old horror movies presented by a host, usually in outlandish horror movie style. Legends in the field include Bob Wilkins, Count Gordy Ball, and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
or as we Elviran revivalists like to refer to her as, the Holy Mother of, oh my god, look at those!
These hosts would not only present the film, but provide sarcastic commentary, a combination that proved so popular that everyone wanted to get in on the act. So college kids and other cinema fans would rent out local theaters so that it could be done in front of a live audience. But because most of the films that could be afforded were older and more obscure, they had limited appeal, and as such had to be run late at night.
Providing running commentary over old and obscure movies? Sound familiar?
That's right. Internet video reviewing has its roots in horror hosting and thus shares a common history and relevance with the same thing that made the Rocky Horror Picture Show the phenomenon that it is. However, it has something that we in the internet age lack: audience participation. The Rocky Horror Picture Show masters this by actually instructing its audience on how to do the time warp and encourages you to perform the dance in the theater. It is this scene that makes the Rocky Horror Picture Show the audience participation legend that it is, and that's what makes it awesome. It started a dance craze that is still engaged in today. Others have come and faded, but the time warp remains, and if you need proof, say this at any convention or gathering of young adults.
It's just a jump to the left. With your hands on your hips. Pretty tight, but there's a perfect rust. Really got me saying, let's do time warp again. What he said.
I'm not gonna get to do any of these by myself, am I?
If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time.
Okay, come out. I know you're there.
Man, how did you know?
Look, Cotton Eye Joe, what do you want to say about it?
Well, you know, I love me some good old American country. Woo, hot dang.
You know they're Swedish, right?
What? No, they're not.
Yes they are. They're as far from the country America as you can get.
No, it's not true.
Why me?
Every now and then you have to ask yourself a stupid question that you know is stupid. Something like, hey, how come nobody's ever considered combining country and electronic dance music? But then you remember someone did, with a little number back in '94 called Cotton Eye Joe. That someone was Rednecks.
If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Nobody's ever mistaken Eurodance for challenging or revolutionary music, but there's a difference between conceptually simple and conceptually ludicrous. All of the elements sound good on their own. a Swedish Eurodance group, a North American folk tune, synthesized bluegrass instruments. Okay, maybe not that last one, but then you say all those elements in order. A Swedish Eurodance group playing a North American folk tune on synthesized bluegrass instruments. That's when you realize just how dumb it really sounds. But then you hear the song itself, and you realize that it works exactly because it shouldn't. Mentally, on a purely stereotypical level, the people that embrace bluegrass don't mix with the people that have no regrets about cutting loose to Eurodance. The rustic twang of the banjo and the high-pitched shriek of the harmonica have no place in a high-gloss pop song, just like synthesizers and a four-on-the-floor beat have no reason to be in a folk tune, so of course all of these and more don't belong together in a single song. But somehow they do. And you know it's the stupidest thing you've ever heard. You know it's annoyingly catchy. You know that you shouldn't be caught dead on the dance floor while this is playing. But if you let all of that affect you, you probably wouldn't be watching this video in the first place. This video is celebrating the songs that people hate to love. The songs that make us sick but we can't get enough of. Simply put, Cotton Eye Joe is the triple fried egg chili chutney sandwich of the pop world.
You see, all the ingredients are wrong. The fried eggs, wrong. The chutney, wrong. The chili sauce, all wrong. But put them together, and somehow it works. It becomes right.
Of course, all of that really just explains why it was a hit in context, but what staying power could it possibly have 18 years later? Well, for me, it's far and away more danceable than any pop hits from the last 4 years. It's very fast, very upbeat, very not in a minor key, all things that I find distractingly absent from modern dance pop. Also adding to the distraction is the fact that most party favorites these days seem to have a fetish for calling attention to themselves. I guess hearing a singer carry on about the good time they're supposedly having is meant to inspire the crowd to have their own, but all it makes me do is think, why do I care about the fun you're having? I don't like the song anyway. Great example, Friday. The big problems people had with that song at first were the goofy video and the auto-tune, and they are horrendous. But then people saw past those and quickly realized that the rest of the song sucked as well. Production, lyrics, all of it. The song was handled so ineptly that every part called attention to itself and everything else around it, in an endless blame game of pure suck, no matter what the theme of the lyrics was. And I'm not saying that all modern dance pop is technically inept, certainly not as bad as Friday, but that's just what it all sounds like to me. Yeah, the singer claims to be having fun, but their way of expressing that is just downright unpleasant to listen to, and it completely takes me out of any party mood. What's Cotton Eye Joe about, on the other hand? Heck if I know. Something about not getting married, not knowing where Joe came from, chick singer spits out something incomprehensible, screw it, let's just keep dancing. Guilty pleasure or not, it's not trying to convince me that it's a party song, it just is a party song.
What? Is it over yet?
Glad I could help.
What happened to the poster that was in the background?
Oh, it fell off the wall.
Are you wearing a different shirt?
Look, a distraction!
What? God damn it! Computer, block all incoming communications. Seal off all outside signals. I'm going to do this one myself if it kills me. Ow!
What? He did the motion forward. Macarena is a song from the duo Los del Rio, about a woman with the same name with a wild life and a peculiar morality. While the lyrics are completely original, the music seems to be based in another song that everybody thinks is a ripoff. The song is called Tengo una pena by Desmadre 75. Eventually, in 1996, they made an electronic version with the group Fangoria. And by God was it a success! In fact, it was so well received it stayed relevant for years. And all that is good and well as history, I guess, but really what you need to know about this song is how to dance the Macarena. Unless you are Los del Rio, in which case you dance it like this.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Se la dio con dos amigos. Macarena tiene un novio que se llama. Que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to it.
Ow!
Oh, SoundBite, you're not dead. I am so glad.
Of course I'm not dead. I'm wearing armor. And you just pissed me off.
Well, on that note, adios, amigo.
Bloody film reviewers. I'm SoundBite, protecting the world from bad music.
And by the way, it was pronounced Damaso Perez Prado. Gringos.
Get out of my show!
Yo, SoundBite show. Keep it fresh, y'all. Alright, protecting the world from bad music. This is the SoundBite show, talking about the songs you know. Some music is really bad, I hope it is just a fad. Bringing up my techno gun, injecting a little fun. We gonna keep working it all day until the work is done. This is just what we gonna do, just me and my DJ crew. Every time we post something, I promise you it's something new. This is the SoundBite show, all of the music you know. Everything we do for show, we put it on the SoundBite show.
Oh, I get it. I guess I'm not popular enough to be on your stupid little show, huh? You know, I'll bet at least half of you don't even know who I am. Okay, at least a quarter. 1/6? Oh, come on now, one of you? Okay, fine. I see how it is. Just because I actually enjoy watching movies every once in a while instead of ripping them to shreds doesn't mean I don't deserve a little recognition myself, okay? It's looking so clear now that there isn't enough room in this world for just one person to praise movies. No. Okay, fine. Fine. You want a dark side? I'll show you a f***ing dark side, okay? Yeah, no more rainbows and lollipops here, okay? Put this in your pipe and smoke it. The Godfather? Overrated drivel. 2001? Who wants to watch a 3-hour screensaver? Pulp Fiction? Disjointed. Psycho? Who's scared of a black and white movie? Star Wars? Ruin cinema for the next 30 years. There. That do anything for you? These movies can go to hell, and so can you, SoundBite. This whole episode was a joke, and you're the f***ing punchline. As for the rest of you, you can join SoundBite in a painful life of fire and brimstone, or you can totally redeem yourselves by watching my show, the DVD Shelf Movie Reviews, right here. The choice is yours.
Oh, I left the link open.